Hello everyone, welcome back to Remind, knowledge-sharing channel self-development through good books. This week, I want to share with you an incredibly valuable book. Literary theorist Émile Zola once said this about a certain writer. His works can make people laugh or cry, but they always provoke thought. The novel A Life by the king of short stories and great French realist critic Guy de Maupassant is exactly such a work. Jeanne, the protagonist, was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She seemed to have every condition for a fulfilled, happy life, an extremely wealthy family, and she herself was kind-hearted, gentle, and lived without any ostentation. Yet in the end, this character meets a tragic fate. What made someone like her unable to live happily? When you finish this book, you will understand that it's not that life has never favored anyone. Rather, each of us has, like Jeanne, time and again abandoned the choice to be happy. And that is because we fail to hold on to the lowest boundaries within ourselves. Hello everyone, welcome to Remind, the channel that shares knowledge for comprehensive self-development through great books. Today I want to share with you a topic titled, Why Some People, No Matter How They Live, Still Cannot Be Happy, through the famous novel Une Vie by Maupassant. Please join me. Part 1. Unable to be happy because we fail to guard our lowest boundaries. In everyone's eyes, Jeanne was an extraordinarily lucky girl. Born the only child in a wealthy aristocratic family, she was pampered by her parents from infancy. Before marriage, they decided to leave her the most famous estate in the lineage. Jeanne grew up carefree and leisurely until the age of 17. When the young woman first knew love and dreamed of the prince in her life, someone introduced her to a young aristocrat named Julien, tall, handsome, and polished. Jeanne fell in love with him at first sight. The young man immediately planned a romantic proposal. Everything unfolded as hoped. They married quickly, and Jeanne felt she was the luckiest girl in the world for a time. But soon after, like a villain unmasking himself, he turned cold. Exploiting his wife's naivety, Julien seized the estate. Once he controlled all financial power, Jeanne became worthless in his eyes. He showed no respect, lived selfishly and stingily, and whenever displeased would snap, turn icy, and abandon the decorum expected of an aristocrat. One day he beat a servant without cause and hurled heavy accusations at Jeanne's parents for poor management of household stuff. Her parents, furious, moved out that very night. A brilliant educational thinker once warned humanity, if you marry in haste, be prepared to risk becoming the unlucky one. A rushed marriage is like a house built on weak foundations, glamorous from the outside, but once you move in, you realize life can collapse at any moment. Jeanne's greatest danger was failing to grasp that attraction begins with appearance, respect with talent, compatibility with habits. Yet in the end, everything hinges on character. You will see that the foundation of any relationship always rests on one person's character. There is a famous line, to maintain a lasting relationship, you must ultimately rely on the lowest boundary of character. What does this mean? Simply that before diving deep into any relationship, be it love or friendship, we must draw a lowest boundary we can accept regarding the other's character. This boundary is like an inviolable principle within you. For matters that do not cross it, you can learn tolerance and acceptance, giving the other person a chance to grow and allowing both of you to build and sustain the bond. But if something crosses that line, for instance, dishonesty, arrogance, violence, selfishness, or self-interest, you must know to stop immediately. There is a saying, the root of all human suffering stems from a lack of awareness of boundaries. If you easily lower your principles and allow the other to step over your lowest boundary, the one who ends up hurt will be none other than yourself. Just like Jeanne's family, who saw Julien's true face yet chose to let everything slide. And Jeanne herself only swallowed her anger, repeatedly consoling herself, stay calm, endure, forget. Then finally she discovered Julien had long been cheating with the maid Rosalie. Only then did she break down and want to sever ties with this despicable, faithless husband. Yet once again her resolve to uphold her lowest boundary wavered. Her father advised that since she was pregnant, she should let it go, and so Julien was accepted once more. Maupassant once said, "Fortune and misfortune each have their reasons." Happiness and suffering are not merely fate's arrangements, but arise from the principles and attitudes we choose. Those who cannot be happy are those who, from the very beginning, abandon their own life principles. Part 2. Tolerance without boundaries is a catastrophe. Not long after their son Paul was born, Julien threatened his parents with suicide unless they provided money. It began with a few thousand, escalated to hundreds of thousands, and finally required mortgaging the entire villa. Jeanne's father died of rage. She had to abandon the mansion where she grew up, move to a small house in the village, and live like an ordinary farm woman. Rather than say the whole family was destroyed by the rebellious son Paul, it is more accurate to say everything was ruined by Jeanne's boundless tolerance. If you tolerate selfishness, greed, cunning, and cruelty, your generosity becomes nothing more than pushing them and yourself into a deeper abyss. Gibran once said, "Humans have two hearts, one overflowing with blood, the other that must know how to forgive." But we must realize that forgiveness needs limits. Otherwise, we suffer endless harm. Part 3. Happiness is not for those who refuse to grow. Jeanne missed her son to the point of madness. She traveled alone to London, but upon leaving home realized she was utterly lost in the city, unable to book a hotel, afraid to ask directions, bewildered by strangers. She failed to find her son and returned to the village in despair. From then on, Jeanne locked herself indoors, speaking to no one. Every morning she stood blankly at the window, gazing at the sky, then sat by the fireplace all day. From the start, Jeanne had rejected the desireto mature. Looking back, fate treated her kindly. Even after falling into the abyss, she had 3 chances to change and save herself, yet she refused them all. The first came after the honeymoon, upon seeing her husband's true hypocritical face. She should have rightfully seized the assets and expelled him, but she chose blind endurance. The second came after her husband's death, freeing her from a painful marriage. She could have started a new life yet. Instead of striving to improve herself and become a role model for her son, Jeanne once again depended entirely on the child emotionally. The third came when her son fell into depravity. Despite warnings not to overprotect him, she continued indulging him until the entire family was destroyed. This world holds many who are extremely weak like Jeanne. Truly look around, they are everywhere, and we ourselves carry Jeanne's shadow. Pause for a moment in the life you are living. How many times have we known something was wrong yet repeated the same mistake? How many times have we ignored our own boundaries, lived without principles, tolerated and loved someone regardless of cost? How many times have we staked our joy on excessive expectations of others? How many times have we lacked the courage to let go, to stop at the right moment? How many times have we dared not change, rejecting the growth that life's lessons repeatedly offer? Everyone has suffering to overcome, but the greatest adversary is not the ups and downs of fate, it is ourselves. If a person refuses to change, no matter how much help, money, or opportunity surrounds them, they can only circle endlessly in life's maze and end in pain. The psychiatrist and author of The Road Less Traveled tells us, people may refuse anything, but they must never refuse to grow. Refusing change is merely avoiding problems and fleeing pain. Many of us try to evade certain things, making mistakes, bearing responsibility, facing loss and personal issues head-on. All these are the roots that prevent happiness. Real suffering is not frightening. Refusing to mature is the true terror. May both you and I possess enough wisdom to grasp happiness in our own hands. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please share it with those who need it. Don't forget to support Remind by liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications for our newest videos every week. Thank you once again for listening. Mindy is always here, accompanying you on your journey to grow every day.